Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast. I'm your host, Oh Hey Davey, and what a show have we got for you. We've got Will of DA Games coming up on the show, who's just hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's an Insomnia legend, an Insomnia veteran, and we're going to be talking to him about what we can expect at I62. As well as that, we have the guys from Costume and Play giving you all the secrets on how to get involved with cosplay at Insomnia. It's going to be amazing. We interrupt this episode of the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast to let you know that Call of Duty World League is coming back to Insomnia. At Insomnia 62, you can watch or compete in the World League of Call of Duty. For more information, log on to our website, www.insomniagamingfestival.com. Okay, we are back, and I am joined with Will of DA Games. Will, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad today. How are you?
Yes, very, very well, thank you. Welcome to the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure to be here, man. Absolutely.
Good. Now, we cannot do this podcast without bringing up the fact that you've just hit 1 million subscribers. How does that feel?
It felt surreal. At first, it was just like, because I know I was surrounded by a bunch of friends just when it was like, I think we were only just at like 999,000, and I'd barely check my stats, so I'd never really know that much. But it took one of my friends to come over and just like, right, get everybody in a Discord call now. And so I just ended up just sitting there, and everybody's just counting down, and it just felt like I'd never thought I'd ever get to that scenario in my life. Just simply because I've come from a simple background of just making videos for fun, really. But who knows? Miracles can be made if you just work really hard. So I guess when it came to it, I think it's still surreal. I don't think it's ever actually cottoned in properly. I don't think I've actually felt it yet because I still feel like I'm lower down. But yeah, I think that's everybody's own worst critic, really, isn't it?
It's such an achievement. And I was kind of thinking, so when you first started, did you ever see yourself hitting 1 million subscribers?
Never in my life. It's something that I knew that I'd hit something like maybe 10, and then that slowly grew to like 100, and then 100,000. At least this year in particular, we actually spiked more than any other time we've actually done it. Any other time, it's been very slow. I'm okay with that because like slow and progressive usually means you can keep an eye on your audience quite a lot, but when it was surreal. So it was hard to keep an eye on the community a lot, but I think because we've got enough members on the team, it's not just me keeping an eye on it. So yeah. I believe we're keeping ourselves headstrong right now, at least. Anyway.
Good. Well, it's such an achievement, so congratulations to you from everyone here at Insomnia.
Thanks very much, dude.
Not at all. So your channel then, it's a real mix of both gaming and music.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, well, which type of content do you prefer to make?
Prefer to make. I mean, with DA Games, I always started with, interestingly enough, animation. Like the DA stands for Diamond Armada. So I used to be on Newgrounds back in the day, and my biggest profession is in animation. But as a pastime hobby, I'd usually do music. But then because YouTube has a really hard time, where especially the animation community, they find it much harder because the hardware that they put into there, they just don't get back. So people had to find different ways of shooting out videos and showing their personality, and that's where gameplays fit in. And Lord behold, I mean, I love video games, so I'll always use a chance to not just play a video game, but entertain the crowd, have a little bit of an edit and stuff, put some liquefy faces in there. It's kind of what people know most of the people in the community know us for. But I guess just sitting on my own, I would choose music as a passion project. I always treated it that way. I always wanted to go into music, never really straying from the path of it. It always starts from an original first. And even the best kind of music, interestingly enough, just comes from the most simplest flow you can ever get. You don't have to spend ages making a song. Usually the ones that come out with the best melodies are the ones that just flow in your head naturally.
Yeah. And
I like that escape from reality. Sometimes it's like playing a video game. It's like doing animation. I choose all of this stuff to kind of escape from reality's problems, like, the government and sometimes family problems and all that stuff. But those are like minuscule parts of my life. But even still, I treasure them to my absolute heart because, well, look at what we're doing now. I was still in my mum's bedroom doing this with a really bad Dell Inspiron laptop. And I think it was a Howpouch game capture card. It was one of the worst you could ever get. I was working at McDonald's, and then it's like, 5 seconds latency latency on the capture card, and this is all Wii U stuff, so obviously Nintendo was going to crack down quite a bit on that.
Yeah.
But then, just as I kept growing, I just sort of like found new tools, found new things, and blessed the community. I think it's gotten so much bigger nowadays because we've got things like Discord, we've got things like Skype. At least technology enthusiasts are kind of cottoning on to what makes the community stronger with the type of content. So they're offering better things, like they're just adapting the Elgato 4K. So now you can record 4K at 60 frames per second, and it's not that hard to get a hold of, to be honest. So it just takes starting from the bottom. Now we're here.
And find that there's a crossover there. Do you find that you have very different audiences within your channel for, say, music and then gaming videos?
Oh yeah. I'd say we probably have it's very hard to determine what our demographic is at the moment because, of course, we have a lot of kids watching, but for a very like mid-teens sort of demographic. But we do get the occasional adults. Enough, I graphics sometimes, and I see like there's a 62 plus age.
Oh wow!
Like, who's sat there watching that stuff, just drinking coffee?
Absolutely. No Radio 4.
It's fascinating, but I mean, a lot of people, I'll see in my gaming videos, a lot of people asking whether, usually with our channel, we don't like requests because we always like do things from the heart. That's how we've done it in the first place, and that's how we got here. So yeah, we're always doing that, etc. But usually we find that, and then I think the funnest ones are usually when it's in the songs and people go, "I come for the Let's Plays." And it's like, that's a blessing, is that? So it's like we see all demographics and we get to tailor make it because the reason why we stay flexible in the first place is so that we had this vision. We wanted the channel to be for choice, really. You didn't really stick to one thing. You have multiple things to come for. So it's like if you didn't like the music, there's gameplay to try. There's animations to go to. If you like none of them, then whatever.
We get that. It's the same with Insomnia, actually, where we really try to make sure that there is something for everybody.
Absolutely.
Some people come to the show and they absolutely live and breathe and adore YouTubers. Some people come to the show and it's not a reason why they come. So it's all about providing choice. So we totally get 100% where you're coming from with that.
Those queues for the games can get super large. I mean, it just shows, doesn't it? It's like you see the meet and greet stages, and then you see like the actual main stage in general. I've never seen something so packed in my life, and especially I think the Dark Room.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen the show sell out like that quickly.
It's so good.
At least for something that started off quite recently. I mean, it's probably in the space of like a year or two.
Yeah, completely.
I'd say.
Again, like the channel, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's insane.
But you mentioned requests, but something I have to bring up, and if I don't, I think people on Twitter will absolutely kill me.
No, this is a good time for me. It's all right. I'll exempt you from it.
The Cuphead song. Where are you with that? When is it coming?
Okay, so a good full analysis on the Cuphead song. Interestingly enough, the song has been done for 2 months now. The song's been finished. However, what we're doing is we're working extensively hard with the lyric video at the moment.
Right.
And we don't have a set release date for it simply because, at least with our background of members on DA Games, they come from an animator's background, and in that kind of community, they've come from a very pressured background where a lot of people would start to put thresholds on them. Whereas what I'm doing for them is just giving them their own creative platform to take their time with whatever they need to do, whilst I work on some other songs in the works. So you're probably going to see another song before Cuphead, but this one, the reason why it's taken so long is because we're doing something that not really many other lyric videos have done, which is actually stick with the authentic 2D animation. So we're going to have oil painted backgrounds and paper to digital lyric video stuff. So We're not directly ripping from the game. The bosses are going to be based on like the different communities that we've been in. So like the first verse, we'll see the boss from Five Nights at Freddy's with the purple guy, etc. And then the next verses we'll have Hello Neighbor. And then the final verse, which is what we're mostly been known for nowadays, which is Bendy in the Ink Machine.
Yeah.
So we're taking this to a bigger, more broad creative platform, and unfortunately, I thought it was going to be out at the end of November. The thing is, we've been looking at how long it took for just at least one of the segments, and it took far longer than we imagined, simply because the animators that we have not done frame-by-frame animation before like this. So we never, and plus we're a team of 7 people, but I think there's only like 3 or 4 people in those team that kind of know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because the rest of them are either thumbnail artists or editors, masters in music, etc.
Yeah.
So we've been juggling about, but I predict that if I had to give a broad estimate, I'm going to give a really broad one. If it's not out by the end of January next year, slap me. Because I honestly think that with the progress that we've got, we could be out somewhere at the end of December, near Christmas time or something. But if not, then January.
Okay, well, you heard it here first, because you dropped the preview, didn't you? What, was it about a month ago?
Oh, 2 months. 2 months ago now. Yeah. I mean, usually I get trigger happy. I think that's the thing. It's like I love making songs, and I know that I want to show people what I've got. Especially since previews give us an idea of how demanding something is. So let's say we also released a Wolfenstein 2 song preview, and that got around 40k views, I believe, which was kind of, I mean, it blew us away just how many people are interested in that. But then the Cuphead preview came out, and that, I mean, the song's not even out yet, and it's nearly at 1 million views. So I mean, if that's not anything to go by, I'm shocked that this has gotten so much response. So
we can't wait. In the office, we had the preview on, and we absolutely love it. So we can't wait. And there are so many people out there as well. They're just so passionate about what you guys do, and they absolutely love your channel. So my question
just wish they wouldn't leak it on YouTube. It
Well,
surprises people.
You're gonna have to do a Lady Gaga when she had, it was applause, and she did pop emergency release applause because it got leaked. I reckon you could go down the Gaga Beyonce route of just surprise.
Oh yeah. Well, you see, the funny part of our songs is that normally our preview isn't our final outcome. Yeah. So when people start leaking stuff, etc., we've normally changed something in the song beforehand.
That's good.
Or sometimes even the structure. So by the time the song's released, there's still a massive surprise to look for.
Yeah.
So
completely.
They're not getting the full thing from me. Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
Good, but we can't wait. We can't wait for that. But what I was going to ask you is that, do you guys have any merch available?
We do. We actually set up a store with Fanfiber. Recently, I mean, we met them at the last Insomnia. Got recommended to them by Nerd. I've forgotten their names. Well, 8-Bit Ryan. He's a good friend of mine. He's part of Fanfiber as well, part of 8-Bit Gaming. And they recommended me on because, I mean, it's more or less, I want to sell merch that's got quality to it, rather than like the reasonable things like Spreadshirt and Redbubble, because I've bought shirts from there before and they go in one wash and they're dead. Whereas Fanfiber does some really good quality shirts. I believe right now they're in the Christmas sales at the moment, and usually you can find that stuff there at dagames.fanfiber.com.
We love Fanfiber. They come to a lot of our shows, and a lot of the guys that we work with have merch on them. And we absolutely love it. In fact, some people who've used to work for Insomnia now work for Fanfiber, so we've got a really, really great relationship. So dagames.fanfiber.com is where people can go pick those up.
Yep, right now there's only 2 shirts available. There's the main DA Games logo and a fan favorite quote that I did from a Sonic Mania stream.
Oh, nice.
It's me dressed up as Knuckles. I don't give a, Uckles.
That's the thing as well. Like, a lot of people talk about merch. I think it's kind of a hot topic on YouTube at the moment, particularly within like the commentary scene, about how much effort goes into merch. But I think when there is links to previous content that you've done, and that's such a great thing to have in your merch, because it really shows that inside joke, and people who have got it get it. And I think that is just such a great route to go down.
That's exactly why we made it. Yeah, because I remember I placed when I was in the Sonic Mania streams, but that quote in general just, I don't know, it just struck with a lot of people, and it became a running joke for a while. And so it's much like if we took a look at one of my Bendy Let's Plays, and we saw the comment section, we kind of look through, and we even join in community. We've got a fan server as well on Discord that they normally only get the invite through our streams, but when they come in, sometimes we're in the general, and we'll even hear audience feedback, just like, oh yeah, I really like this quote, etc. And the more and more we hear that, we're like, geez, we need to do something with this joke.
Yeah.
And we'll either do it in the form of like, sort of like, it's called DA Games Animated, but it's like, they take our DA Games Animated person, my longest running friend on the internet, Chris, he takes the Let's Play audio and puts it in a completely brand new context. So we'll either just take the quote and put it in DA Games Animated, or we'll do something about it with merch, because I know a lot of people have been asking where they can find it, and it's just taken a bit to set up with Fanfiber, but I think we're on the right track now. So
love that.
Yeah.
So you talk about your streams. So you're on YouTube. Are you on anywhere else, or do you stream through YouTube?
I stream, at least primarily these days, I'm streaming through Twitch.
Yeah.
The reason being, I mean, I only just got partnered on Twitch, so I mean, I found it skeptical moving back to YouTube gaming for a little bit, because I actually just did a stream last night with NAF6. And I thought, well, you're not allowed to stream at the same time. But then I read the contract again, and it's like, actually, you're not allowed to stream on both platforms at the exact same time. That's what it means, rather than like, oh, you're allowed to stream on YouTube gaming or Twitch at a particular point. But if you're streaming on Twitch, they own the content for like 24 hours. But it's like, I find Twitch to be a more intimate place. It's a place where, like, I blessed my community. Like, when I go on YouTube gaming, they come in the freaking storm, you know? They come in the absolute numbers. But on Twitch, it's a nice little chill out. So usually I like to step away from society and just rant a little sometimes and play games that wouldn't normally be played on YouTube. So, like, Star Wars Battlefront is another one that we've been playing. And
I'm having so much fun with that right now.
Dude, same. I love that game. Well, I mean, they did kind of remove microtransactions, but honestly, I didn't even feel as though that jaded the game, really. At least it wasn't like the first one where you pay to win. The ones that microtransactions that you make now are just cosmetics, really.
I'm all about the story as well. I'm living for that campaign. Any sort of
Is it that good? Because I haven't actually done this.
Oh,
I haven't tried it yet. I need to actually get onto that bit.
I love it. So cinematic, and the gameplay is brilliant.
You just reminded me what to do in the day then.
Absolutely.
Right.
There you go. Done. So people can find you on Twitch. Is that twitch.tv/DA Games as well?
DA Games official.
Oh, okay,
Sometimes I put official at the end because it's quite nice.
That sounds very official. I love it.
Yeah.
You're coming back to Insomnia 62. I think I first met you in Scotland, where we did Insomnia Cross Resonate. How many Insomnias have you done now? Must be.
I've been to, at least attended, at least from Insomnia. I-57 actually.
Wow.
Was the very first one I actually came to, and God, I remember it being much. Okay, from the scale that it is right now, and I'm expecting Insomnia 62 to be at least bigger than what it was last time. But either way, Insomnia is so much smaller, and I even remember the first Scotland one, the one in Edinburgh. Yeah. That was on like 2 floors, I believe.
Yeah.
It was like so different compared to now. And of course, the aesthetics and style and design choices have changed as well over the course. It's always staying unique as opposed to just sticking with the same logo every single year.
Completely.
for the next 5. You always change things up. So I think that really helps.
Yeah. Do you have then a favorite memory from Insomnia?
Oh, my favorite memory is, well, I mean, meeting the lads, the friends that I know now, like Razbowski, Dorko, 8-Bit Gaming. Yes, I'm giving you a shout out. So, deal with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I met them back at, it was either I-57 or 58, where we started talking a little more. And I think it's just the memories with my friends. And I mean, the opportunities have been, you know, performing with people on stage. I think it was the I-61. I was on the main stage with Lewis, and we were playing off against Hat Films.
Yeah.
And I think Simon Bailey or Sam Bailey.
Sam Bailey, yes.
Sam. Sorry if I got your name wrong, dude. He came on with the wrestling costume, and I think just squirting that cream, squirting that spray in my face. That was a great day, and I let him know that I had a long shower after that.
I will let him know. I love those guys, Sam and Matt. They're such great hosts, and when they
have good chemistry.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Really good. I think they've known each other for a while, and particularly when you guys are on there as well, and you've known each other for a while, it just comes across really
sort
great.
of in the wrestling scene they've been, haven't they?
Yeah, big in the wrestling scene. So, okay, brilliant. Because also then you'll be doing another meet and greet at Insomnia 62.
That's right. Yes.
What's it like to meet fans in person? That must be crazy.
It's like separating text from reality. It's like you never really get to know someone's true emotion unless you see them at face point. And it was, I mean, I've had my fair share of interactions back in the, I've been to America, I don't know how many times this year, but it's every single time I meet somebody in person who's been wanting to meet us for a long while, that just seeing their faces light up is so much more different than seeing an emoji wall or just seeing something by a text, because you can text somebody and be like, hey, I love your stuff, and it still means a hell of a lot. But actually seeing them in person, the love and support, some people even travel across country to get to these places. And just seeing that devotion, it really warms you up a bit. It's kind of the main reason why I get motivation back on the channel again is usually I'll be in a rut and then I'll end up going to a convention, meeting all these cool people. I'll go back and it's amazing what that does compared to getting it all online.
Yeah.
It's so much more fascinating.
What a lot of content creators say as well is that often when they're in a meet and greet, someone will drop their username, and then you're like, I've been speaking to you for years. Wow, like I've seen you come up on my feed daily, and it's so great to actually meet those people in real life.
Actually, yeah, because I ended up having somebody from my Discord server who never had a profile picture, so I never really knew their name, their actual face, etc. And they'd come to me just out of the blue and was like, "Hey, I'm in your Discord server." I was like, "Who are you?" And his name, I can't remember because I don't know how he feels about that stuff. But more or less, he said his name, and I'm just like, "Oh
my god, it's you!"
It's you. Yeah, and it turns out, so I'd spoken to him as a moderator, but I never got to know his face. And obviously, like, audio through a microphone than it does in real life. Surprising how many people I've met online and then come in real life and just hear them in either a deeper tone, lighter tone, or less bass tone. It's very different seeing it in real life. So those moments are stuff to favor.
Oh, great. Well,
Absolutely.
I love that. And people can come meet you at 62, and I think it's just really important to say that we do still have tickets left for Insomnia 62. So if you want to come and you want to meet Will, want to meet anyone else who's coming to the show, you absolutely can at insomniagamingfestival.com. Tickets are still available. But Will, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really, really appreciate it. And we will see you in March.
See you in March, guys. Peace out.
Brilliant. Thanks.
We interrupt this episode of the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast to let you know the best way to find out about announcements for Insomnia 62 is to follow us on social. Make sure that you follow at IGFest UK on everything. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're here on SoundCloud. Make sure you follow us everywhere to not miss an update. Hi guys, welcome back. Okay, so now we have cosplayers from Costume and Play on the show. Guys, welcome to the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast. How are you?
We are good, thank you. Thank you for having us.
No worries at all. Guys, do you want to go around and introduce yourselves? Let everyone know who you are, who you cosplay as, and just do a really brief hello.
I'm Katawa Cosplay. I cosplay as Roadhog from Overwatch and Midna from the Zelda games, and lots of others.
I'm Tom, or I'm Cosplay, and I mainly do Torbjorn, Blastoise, big sort of builds like that, and that's mainly it.
Jess, and I run Costume and Play, so I sadly don't get as much time to cosplay as I would like to. But at the moment, I'm currently borrowing our creative director's costume, which is Jax, which has been a lot of fun from League of Legends.
Oh, brilliant. So you are cosplaying as a businesswoman.
I'm cosplaying a businesswoman.
Brilliant, great. So we've got lots of Overwatch and Costume and Play themselves. That's brilliant, because how I wanted to really kind of start this off was to say that cosplay at Insomnia Gaming Festival has been such a huge part of the show for such a long time now. What's the history, Jess? This is probably one for you. What's the history of Costume and Play at Insomnia?
Okay, so we started Insomnia because we really wanted to bring something different and something new to the table, and we saw a lot of potential in the event because you guys have access to a fantastic stage, fantastic photography, fantastic filming capabilities, and we really wanted to find a way to give that level of facilities to cosplayers directly. And we also wanted to build in a series of facilities that perhaps hadn't been a thing before. So we have the cosplay zone area, for an example, and that will cover all of the various different elements of cosplay, ranging from performance to sewing to props, and absolutely anybody can come and get involved in that. We try and hold a series of workshops, activities and panels that veteran cosplayers can come and learn some stuff about, but we also want to attract people that have maybe never cosplayed and will hopefully come back to Insomnia and cosplay again. So we'll do things like Minecraft Make a Torch, where you can just make a Minecraft torch prop and it will take you like 10 minutes. The sneaky trick is to use a piece of paper just to tuck inside the torch so you can balance a candle at the top. So yeah, it's just showcasing that cosplays, you can get started at any level and it can be really easy, or it can be not quite as easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's something that really, really stands out about the cosplay. We have people who turn up who, I mean, you guys know, you've seen it, and your stuff's always amazing, who literally look incredible. And then you also have people who are just starting out for the first time. So there's definitely lots that you can do, whether you are a veteran cosplayer or completely brand new to it, which is great. So guys, then what I want to know is that when did you first start cosplaying at the show, and what have been some of your favorite kind of cosplay moments?
Well, we came to Insomnia 55 when it was down in Coventry, and we took part in the Costume and Play Masquerade, and with some really half-assed sort of cardboard unfinished builds. I had half a Blastoise costume. I moonwalked the whole stage, got off the other end and fell in love. And then we got asked back to do some other stuff and work with Costume and Play, so we really fell on his feet doing it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So do you come as someone different every year, or how do you kind of plan who you're gonna cosplay as, and how long does it kind of take you to get that costume sorted and together?
For my Roadhog cosplay, Tom had already built his Torbjorn, and I got really excited, and I watched cosplay as well. So I built mine in about a week before the event, and rushed it, and then you just get upgrades each time you want to wear it and make bits better.
It's never really finished. You just find more and more things to upgrade on it.
Are you going to stay with those characters for a while moving forward, or do you always kind of think, oh, do you know what, I'd love to do this kind of thing, or I'd love to cosplay as that character, or are you kind of set now that you've got your kind of portfolio and your rep and you're set on it?
I think we're very faithful to Overwatch. I think because all the new different skins that come out, the characters are always growing and getting different upgrades and things. So
I bring Torbjorn to nearly every event because that's what people want to see, but I also bring like Blastoise with me because that's pretty ominous there as well, though.
Guys, do you find Christmas shopping a nightmare? Do you find wrapping a nightmare? If you've answered yes to both or either of those questions, I've got the perfect solution for you. Insomnia 62 tickets. Do not forget that they are still available at insomniagamingfestival.com and make the perfect Christmas present for anyone and everyone. And you don't even need to wrap them. Stuff them in a stocking, stick them in a card, plop them in an envelope, and they will be the best present this Christmas. So make sure that you book yours now at insomniagamingfestival.com. We were touching on earlier then the kind of scale of cosplayer Insomnia and how you can start off. It's a really great introduction to cosplay, as well as for people like yourselves who've been doing it for a while. What advice would you give anyone then if they're listening to this and they want to start doing cosplay? What would be your best kind of advice to new people?
The most important part about cosplay is that anything is okay in the world of cosplay. You know, that's kind of our motto, I suppose. It's like chatting today to a Deadpool Bob Ross, which is just, I know, how amazing is that? It's just a complete mashup of two completely different worlds, and that is just absolutely incredible to see. And, you know, that's the thing about cosplay. To start out with it, pick a character you love and just have fun. You can buy your costume. My first costume was bought. I went to Tesco and I bought a £15 purple suit. And then I went to a charity shop and I bought a shirt. And then I went to another charity shop, bought a tie, and I bought some snazaroo face paint. And I went as the Joker, and it was amazing. And I had such a lovely time. You know, I met so many amazing people, and people cosplay for so many different reasons and in so many different ways. Like sometimes you might just want to do like a crazy mashup like Deadpool Bob Ross. Sometimes you might just want to rock up in a bought costume and enjoy being a character. Sometimes you might want to learn a new skill set and create something, whether that be, you know, foam making or sewing, or, you know, there's just so many different elements and so many different things are accessible in cosplay, and nothing should be frowned on. And we try and make sure that nothing is frowned on within cosplay at Insomnia, so that people can just come along and just be together and have fun.
Well, completely. And it seems that there really are no rules. You can completely just immerse yourself and let yourself go in what you're doing and take it anywhere, which I think is so great to see, because the creativity is amazing with what you guys turn up in.
Completely agree with that. Like, I hope that people feel that they're safe as well. Like, we really wanted to make sure that the space was very much about safety and comfort. So as Katawa very aptly says, like, you can just rock up to anybody, be it a guest or a crew member or another cosplayer, and be like, oh, hey, that's really cool. How did you do the thing? And cosplayers, one of the best things about kind of the cosplay community as a whole is that everyone is just super excited to be part of cosplay, that they're really always pleased to share their knowledge and their experiences, and that makes it really loving and really welcoming.
There are so many different ways to get involved at Insomnia. I guess the two biggest things are the Insomnia Cosplay Championship and the Community Masquerade. Jess, can you explain what the difference is between them? And then perhaps, guys, if you say what it's like to actually compete, that would be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Insomnia Community Masquerade is for everyone. We just want everybody to come to experience the stage, the facilities that you have access to. I might be a bit biased, but I feel like Insomnia has the best facilities for cosplay out there of any show. Like, it's crazy, just the amount of, abilities you have to just take home some good photos of your costume and to really experiment in a stage space where you have actual space to develop your character. And that could be anything. You could come on stage and do a crazy Deadpool skit. I seem to have Deadpool on the mind today, but you get the idea. The championship is more so aimed at the idea of getting feedback from the judges for costume work that's maybe more so made, for instance, so different techniques and things like that. And it's also more so about focus the competing element, because there's always that argument of, well, if you have an amazing fabricated costume and an amazing armor build costume, how do you judge that? Well, the simple answer is you can't really. But under the same merit, having the ability to learn from your peers and be surrounded in an environment where you have a reason to push your skills a little bit further, to learn a little bit more. A great example is if you have a costume and you paint on the detail and you want to take your costume to the next level, our judges can come back and say, what about applique, for instance? And it's that kind of environment that we want to generate. We want to create a space where people really can feel that they will get feedback, that they will be around people that are really dedicated to learning as much as they can from the art form, and where they can step up kind of a little bit more in terms of the construction ability and maybe the performance ability as well.
Yeah, completely, because one thing I really remember from I-59 was not just the actual incredible costumes that you were seeing, but the performances as well. There were live vocal performances, there were like lip-syncing mime performances as well. How much of that championship then is the costume and how much of it is the performance, or are they kind of equal in weight?
Once again, because we have access to such lovely facilities, I know I keep saying that, but it really gives scope to allowing you to do things such as musical performances. I don't know if you saw the championship for summer, but some of the performances there were absolutely amazing.
Oh, they were incredible.
Kind of there like, oh my gosh,
it's so
cool.
good. It's so, like, you go and you just experience so much when you're watching either of the two. I can't recommend it highly enough. And guys, what's it like to actually compete and perform in these? What's been your what was your first experience of doing it, and where are you now? Do you feel a lot more confident competing? Where kind of are you on that scale?
Well, when I turned up at I-55, the first thing was that stage is huge, because what I'd seen before was like a little tiny stage where you had maybe like 3 steps either way. When I researched it, and I was like, right, so I've got to fill that entire stage with something. And it was kind of overwhelming, but it was fun once I got up there, and a joy to be on it. And then we went full circle, the last Insomnia, and we actually judged the competition that we first went in. So we became the judges of basically what we started in.
Wow.
And that was a real opportunity, and it was really fun as well.
Thank you, Costume and Play.
It's so lovely. But that's the thing, though. Like, I think that just really represents why the Community Masquerade is important as well. Because you stare at the stage and you're like, oh no, it's so big. And then you go on the stage, it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. There's like lights and sounds and all these different
and next minute you're judging. Like that's such a great story. I cannot recommend anyone who's listening to this who's either been to Insomnia before or has come into Insomnia 62 or any show that we have moving forward. Make sure that you definitely go and check out the cosplay, either the Masquerade or the Championship, because you'll love them both. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. One last thing then for everyone, what can we expect at Insomnia 62? Anything to look forward to, or is it all hush hush?
I'm trying to think, what can I tell you? Okay, we're putting a really awesome focus on really building the community end of it. Atom is going to be running some amazing meetup things for us, which is going to be awesome, which we've got some of the photos for as well to show you. We are looking at doing a really amazing kind of themed area this time that's going to incorporate a good few more elements of cosplay. There's so much. I'm saying, like, oh goodness me, there's so much going on. The masquerades are going to be awesome. We're really trying to make sure that you guys have a bit better access to the lighting this time as well, because those lights are insane. I sat with Lampy, who is the lighting guy, and he showed me what the lights could do, and I was like, I didn't even realize lights could do that. Yeah, just come, it's gonna be good.
Oh, bless Lampy. Guys, thank you so much for being on the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast. Everyone who's at the show, go check them out. If they want to get involved before the show, guys, where can they follow you? Where can they find out more?
Find out more by following us on social media. Just type in costume, the word, and play on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. There's probably some more. Other than that, costumeandplay.co.uk. And please also do go follow Atom and Katawa Cosplay on Instagram.
Okay, that's our show. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this episode of the Insomnia Lunchtime podcast. Don't forget to tune in again in 2 weeks' time, where we will be back with more YouTubers, more stuff that's happening at Insomnia, and chatting more random stuff to you guys. So make sure you tune in then, subscribe, follow us on social at IGFest UK to not miss an episode and to not miss any updates.